Hey there, this is Dennis Anyone with Dennis Hensley. It's a podcast about making things up, making things happen. I love creative people, and today one of my very favorite creative people is on the podcast. It's my good friend Nadya Ginsburg, actor and comedian extraordinaire, also a wonderful writer. She's got her show, Fatale, coming back to Los Angeles on July 17th. Then she's going to be in the Berkshires on July 22nd and the Cutting Room in NYC on the 23rd of July. So I got to see the show recently in LA and it's delightful. She does her Cher, she does her Madonna, but there's also lots of other surprises in there and some different kinds of things that I'm used to seeing from Nadya, and I loved it. So she was also in my play reading, The Point of Pinecones, at the Fringe Festival. We just finished our third and final show of the Fringe, and so we do a little debrief on that as well. So it's a mixed podcast. We talk a lot about her show and her work, but we also talk a lot about the experience with the play. And yes, I weep. Whatever. I am the who is that guy that was in Congress and he always used to cry? I am that guy. He's not around anymore. What the fuck was his name? Anyway, he was kind of orange. Why can't I think of his name? I'm that guy. And we talk about creativity in general. And it's a lovely conversation, and I'm so glad we got to have it. But before we get to that, I want to remind you that this podcast is brought to you by me, but there's some ways you can support it. Go to DennisAnyone.net, leave a tip in my virtual tip jar. Help me cover my expenses. It helps a lot. I appreciate it. Also, you can subscribe to my Patreon and Substack spin-off podcast, Dennis Hensley's Happy and Gay. Right now it's free because I'm not posting as much as I had intended because I've got this full-time job, but it's still really fun. And, yeah, it's cool. Check it out. Also, next year, February 7th to the 14th, 2027, I'm going to be on the Live Love podcast cruise with my pals Derek and Romaine. So you could book that cruise and, be on there with us. I'll probably be doing games and my usual dog and pony shows and maybe a podcast recording, and it'll be very fun. It's to Mexico. I think that might be it. Oh, the mismatch game is this weekend. It's the 26th, Friday at 7:30 at the Gay and Lesbian Center. Nadya's doing it. We've also got Jackie Beat, Frank DeCaro, Felix Pyre, Jane Wilson, a newcomer to the cast, doing Meryl Streep, and Tom Lank is going to do Tilda Swinton. So it's going to be amazing. So come out for that. All right, enough of the plugs. Here now is my conversation. I won't say interview because we really mix it up in different ways. It's Nadya Ginsburg. Joining me now via Zoom from Los Angeles, it's my dear friend Nadya Ginsburg. Welcome back to the podcast, Nadya.
Thank you so much, Dennis. I am so happy to be here chatting with you today, especially the weekend after your play, The Point of Pinecones.
I know, which I think I'm going back to Trade-Offs as the original title. Because I get no joy. You know how they say, does it spark joy? I get no joy saying The Point of Pinecones. It doesn't. You get it when you see the show. It makes sense. It's kind of artsy. But it brings me no joy to say it. And so I'm going to go back to the original because it's gayer and hotter and clearer. So that's the vibe.
What more do you want? There we go.
Thank you. Thank you. But you were in it and you were wonderful. And we had 3 shows at the Fringe Festival. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But we also were going to talk about your show, Fatale, which is going to be showing in multiple different cities. Los Angeles on July 17th. And then the Berkshires. Is that right?
Yes, the Berkshires. I've never been there before.
I don't even know what it is. It feels like a rich person place.
It's in Massachusetts. Okay. It's a resort town, and it's where Dorinda Medley from the New York Housewives has a home called Bluestone Manor, where she grew up very working class in the town, and her father was a grounds person at this home, and she would look at the home every day, and then she married this very rich guy, and he bought the house for her. So Little Housewives aside, I don't want to alienate any of your audience.
Yeah, but, my audience is probably good housewives, friendly for sure.
Aficionados.
Maybe some.
And then, that's on July 22nd. And then on July 23rd, I'll be at the Cutting Room in New York City. And I'm very excited about that.
That's exciting because you lived there for a while. What is your New York vibe like? Do you have friends that live there still that are going to come and or was it such a long time ago?
My parents met on the steps of Flushing High School in Queens.
Amazing.
Ira Ginsburg. Yes, he whistled at Carla Candiotti, who came to America from Italy, and when she was 12, and they started dating. So, and my grandfather lived on Henry Street on the Lower East Side. So I have a lot of I have a deep connection to New York, and I just, when I walk down the street, my heart breaks in all the best ways. There's just nothing like it. I would not like to live there because I'm not independently wealthy, and it's incredible what people spend on rent there.
Yeah.
You'd have to be fabulously wealthy or have a place like in the burbs or the boroughs, but there's no feeling like it. I love New York in July.
Yeah. Now you lived there as an adult, like as a performer, pursuing before you came to LA. Do you still have friends from that era that are still there? Because I know a lot of people have left.
A lot of my New York friends are here, actually, but I do still have friends, some who have gone back and forth. I have I worked at Birdland Jazz Club as a waitress, and I have a lot of my friends who worked there as waitresses. We're all still connected. And so I see them when I go back there.
I feel like Birdland, is that where that guy Caruso does the Monday night Broadway people come and sing thing? I'm getting this all wrong, but I feel like I've been there for something like that. It was Charlie Parker. It would belong to Charlie Parker, the musician. Right.
Then some Italian guy named John Valenti bought it.
Yeah.
And it's just like I waited on a lot of interesting people as a dancer. Do you know the Nicholas brothers?
Yeah, of course. Tap dancers.
Okay. Well, I waited on one of them.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. And, New York people, when you're a waiter or waitress, I'm not going to say server because I don't like that.
Okay. I like that you don't like server. What are you, a computer?
No, because it feels like I'm a slave.
Yeah.
Like, why server? Why is that better than waitress or waiter? Anyway, I had a lot of waited on a lot of great New York people when I was a waitress in New York, bartender. All kinds of things.
All the things. Right.
Yeah, all the things.
So I love that you get to do a show there at the Cutting Room, which is, I think that's where Joan Rivers used to perform a lot. Does that sound right?
I don't know. Yeah, that's right. I often forget we both wrote for her together.
Yeah, we did. That was another era. Yeah,
yes.
It was.
Yeah.
And it's all good. And you recently did a show with Tony Tripoli, who was probably the person that got you that job.
That's right. From doing the Match Game.
Yeah. It's all connected.
I'm going to be doing Friday.
And it's going to, we've got 3 things to promote. You're doing the Mismatch Game this Friday at the Gay and Lesbian Center, 7:30. I think there's a link on my Instagram. I don't know. I'm so in this play that I like the Mismatch Game is like, I got to remember how to do it and what to do. And it's all coming together. It's all coming together. It's going to be good. So I saw Feral Fatale. And you do some of your classic characters that you do, Cher and Madonna, but you also explore some other stuff. What was on your mind when you started putting this together? Because there's some really out of left field ideas or something, some kind of like cool things to think about for the audience. What were you thinking about when you sat down to kind of put this together?
Well, when I went to go write it, I just spent the last year and a half as a caregiver for both of my parents. Mm-hmm. And that experience really changed me and made me think about what it means to be alive, what it means to be a human animal and aging. And I think we're at a very interesting time in our culture and society it's kind of like Planet of the Apes in a way with technology and being a primate. I'm really fascinated by that. And there's a joke I tell in the show that was inspired by, being in a play. And I was actually in one of our friends' plays, Howard Scora's play. Yeah. It was Damaged Furniture, I think. And I was backstage with, Mo Collins, right? Mo and, her husband, Alex Scooby, and these other really, talented, experienced actors, and we were doing this play for no money, and we were about to go on stage, and we were wringing out our hair and going, oh my God, do I got it? Do I need to go over my lines? And I looked at everybody and I said, guys, do you realize we are primates pretending to be other primates for a room full of primates? And we're scared that the other primates are not going to believe that we're pretending to. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? What do we do? So I've always been fascinated by that we're human animals. Yeah. And so I guess a lot of the jokes, it's also about female rage, which is a no-brainer why that came up.
Yeah.
Right now with what's going on with, in our country and society. So that kind of, that inspired the through line of, what it means to be a human animal, right now on the planet. But make it funny.
Yeah, but make it funny. And you do a song at the end that's so beautiful. And I love that you sing the song. Can you talk a little bit about that, or why you chose it, or is it something you don't want to give away?
I don't want to give it away, but it is a Tom Waits song that I saw in a play that was based on a folk tale, and it's a sad song.
But I love that you chose it and that you sing it sincerely. You sing it beautifully. Like, was there a part of you that was like, oh, these people they want the yucks. They want the celebrity. Like, can I?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Can I end the show with this lovely song? And you do, and it's lovely.
Well, I really think that anything that does not scare you does not. It's like I was talking to the cast about this. That I listened to this Jungian podcast, and it was about how you always have to approach things like an amateur in life. And the word amateur has the Latin root amare, which means love. And so if you're not approaching things kind of terrified in a way, or afraid and vulnerable, nothing good comes of it. And I heard James Baldwin actually speaking. I heard James Baldwin actually speaking about this, but he was speaking to this playwright that the minute you're like, hey, I know what I'm doing and I'm just the shit, the magic goes out the door. And so, I'm trying to do things that scare me. And, this is the format of the show now, but I hope to do many different shows and different formats. And I really love singing.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful, and it's unexpected and lovely.
Thank you, Dennis.
You gave us a little taste of your Madonna right there when you were talking about James Baldwin. I am loving this new Madonna era. I'm loving the music. I'm loving the spirit of it. It's giving me life, and it's making me feel good. And like, I think of all the years that, I've been a fan, or, it's sometimes, didn't get what was going, like the journey, and like, I'm into this Madonna era. What are your thoughts? I can't wait for the full album.
I know. I think, in the words of Cher, as Cher has said, the longer I look good, the better gay men feel.
It's so true.
And it's so true. And I think Madonna kissing 70, creating and saying, I'm never going to say that this pussy is out to pasture, is very liberating to women and gay men. And actually I just read that Lola and Madonna collaborate on a song on the album. Did you read that?
I was reading the Interview magazine interview, but I didn't get all the way through it because I was nodding off. It was late at night. But
I haven't read it yet.
But she sounds kind of a little more grounded, a little like I'm loving this era, and I'm loving the music. When she had that song, I Feel So Free, and she talks about the dance floor safety and numbers, like those are ideas that resonate. And there's a Madonna song in my play, Human Nature, where she talks about, I'm not your bitch, don't hang your shit on me. And it was when she got attacked for all the erotica stuff and the sex book and all that stuff. And at the time, I understood intellectually what she was saying about sex and stuff like that. But I think I was still a little bit like, tone it down, girl. We don't need to see the book. Like, I don't think I metabolized her message around sex until like 15 minutes ago. Like, and that's part of what the play is. Like the shame around sexuality is doing nobody any favors. And I did not click into that until recently, really. And so,
well, then I have a question. Then.
Yeah.
How did, because almost every gay man I know they felt liberated by her. They felt liberated. So how did you feel liberated prior if it wasn't about sex?
I think it was about ambition and artistry, and I know I'm not the best singer, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to put on a show or whatever. And I think I understood what she was saying about sex and stuff like that, and it was kind of hot, but I don't think I connected it to my own
sexuality.
Yeah, I think I still was more hung up than she would have liked me to be, and then then did me any good, you know. Yeah. And so like her message about it, she was right all along, and I didn't quite click in. So I included it in the play as kind of like a thank you in a way, and also she's the diva of the character that's my age, you know, and so yeah, but you know, if I ever met her, I would say, you know what? Thank you for always saying that. It took me a long time to get the memo, but I appreciate how you were about that, and I'm sure women do too. She never.
I remember that.
Yeah, like from the beginning.
Yes, I remember. It stuck out to me that the boy toy that was tongue in cheek, and and that she liked crucifixes because it had naked men on them. I mean. Even beyond sex, though, what about race? I mean, how many people have put a black Jesus?
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, and now when I look at what pop is, there are interesting artists now that are doing things that are interesting and compelling artistically. But for that to be pop art, a black Jesus,
yeah,
that's pretty incredible. And no, I mean, express yourself, all of that. I remember feeling very inspired by her and feeling that, you know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
The movie Working Girl.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie Working Girl?
Yes, I saw it when it came out, and then I saw it like a year ago. And I was like, oh, this is a classic. I understand why this works now. And I understand Melanie Griffith's performance.
Yes.
I had a lot of respect for, like what she was doing, what she was about, and how she was in it. I was like, oh, this is really, because it's somebody that, she was sort of working class and like not, you know what I mean? Like, and she was trying to sort of, it was about class. It was about, sexism. It was about, money. It was interesting. Yeah. So how do you?
Yeah. To me, that's Madonna, is that the Melanie Griffith character was very soft and feminine,
Right.
And the woman who had all the power was brittle and hard as nails, the Sigourney Weaver character.
Right.
And so to make it in a man's world, she had relinquished all her femininity. But Melanie Griffith's character was like Madonna was saying, I don't have to be a man to make it in a man's world.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll wear a suit, but my pointy tits are going to stick out of the fabric.
That's right. Yeah.
And fucking kill you.
Right.
And my sexuality, this is what I got as a Madonna wannabe.
Yeah.
My sexuality makes me strong. And it's ironic because when I first started doing stand-up in the late 90s, to be a stand-up, you could not be at all feminine. I had female friends who took stand-up comedy classes, and they would tell them to put Band-Aids on their nipples so their nipples wouldn't show. Like you,
wow.
And there's no mistake that Janine Garofalo dressed like your kid brother, and that was pretty revolutionary. Joan, even, like, she wore black dress and pearls, but that's like, you couldn't distract the audience with being too feminine. And that now, of course, Chelsea Handler posed naked in Playboy.
Yeah.
But that dichotomy was very real, that your sexuality and your sexiness is a detriment to your message and your voice. And so she had her finger on that. And that's why, and I have to say though, when I listen to someone's voice, I would rather hear, I'm going to use a current reference, get ready for it.
Yep, I love it.
I'd rather hear Louis Armstrong than Mariah Carey break glass with, I like emotion, and I think Madonna has I love to hear her sing, and I think it's also besides when she sings and she dances, she's the most vulnerable and honest.
That's interesting.
And I think the reason when she has a challenge acting, I think was she's been so beat up, but she's so used to knowing exactly how to work the camera. And it's hard for her. She's been beat up so much that it's hard for her to be truly vulnerable and forget about the camera.
Right.
That's
let go. That's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
About her voice on some of these new songs, she sounds better than ever. There's a richness to it. It sounds like her, but it's just like, I love this voice. Like, I just love it. And it's interesting that she's gotten better as she's gotten older in terms of the vocals, for me at least. Yeah. You also do your Cher, and I can't get enough of it. And I had a theory, and I think I floated this to you. These women that have gay fan bases, they live a long time. I don't know if that's, or they continue to perform and do well and succeed for a long time, you know? And I don't know if there's a connection to that. If having gay fans keeps you going.
Oh, yeah.
I think it does. Yeah. I think when there's lulls, when the mainstream culture isn't paying attention to you, you're like, I can go to Vegas and the gays are going to show up. And that keeps me going, you know?
Well, the less the patriarchy wants to fuck them, the more their gay fans protect and love them.
And it keeps them going. Look at Dolly. Look at Cher. Look at Madonna. Look at you know, they're
totally.
Anyway, that's just my theory. So, what's fun about doing Cher? What's fun about it?
Well, she's just very laid back. She's very easy and fun, and she doesn't give a shit, you know? And I feel like if I hung out with her, I would get along with her and we'd have like a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And I feel like what I love about Cher, and I feel a connection to her, my mother's Italian and she used to have really, really long hair. And growing up, the idols of the day were like Cheryl Tiegs and Farrah Fawcett. So if you were Jewish, Italian, Greek, Puerto Rican, what have you, you didn't feel like you were represented in terms of stars. I mean, there was like Chita Rivera. There was who's in West Side Story. Oh my God, she's so incredible. Who played Maria in West Side Story?
Natalie Wood.
No.
Oh, Rita Moreno. Anita.
Rita Moreno.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
That was Maria.
Yeah.
But for all the ethnic women, Cher, like she looked like my mom.
Yeah.
And so I felt represented by her. And again, it's an Armenian. So interesting that Armenian, like the way Kim Kardashian now does the same thing. The Armenians to the front.
To the front, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I love it. How has your relationship to performing evolved in the last few years? Because like for me, I think when I was younger, I thought if I do this, maybe it'll lead to this, or and now I just do it for the sake of doing it. And I don't care what it leads to, or I hope it goes well, but I'm not attached to results as much as I am to the experience of doing it and the process of doing it. And I think that's from years of like, disappointment, I guess, and ups and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think about those things?
I mean, I think as you get older, you approach everything differently, but I would say that it's still like every time I go on stage or I'm creating something in my mind, I'm thinking I want to bring love into the world, and I want this to be a sacred, beautiful ritual that brings people inspiration and release and love. And it's, I watched a documentary on vaudeville, and June Havoc, whose sister was Gypsy Rose Lee, who performed when she was a little girl, and she'd feel this in vaudeville, and she'd feel the squish of the blood in her little ballet shoes. She said, when I go to an audience, I go to a lover. And, I think it's still as sacred as it's always been. But I've also realized we're in a different landscape now. Like I was watching this show Neighbors, and there was a guy on it, and he does very bad impressions of everybody from The Lord of the Rings. Uh-huh. And he has like 80 million followers.
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten to a place, and I'll turn on TikTok or something and I'll go, it's almost now like, I'm not saying there aren't incredibly talented people that have a lot of followers, but it's almost like the more followers you have now the more terrible you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm respected by my peers. I feel that I may not be super famous, but super famous people know me and respect me. People who are talented, and I don't mean famous like TikTok, like amount of people. You could always, if anything, it would be to make more money, I guess.
Yeah.
But to me, the guiding principle is, am I giving something beautiful to people?
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. I still love it as much as I've always loved it. But I also think when you can like be like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't matter. It's allowed me to relax a little more.
Yeah.
Definitely
You said that the last time I saw you on at the show, you said that I used to get so nervous if something went wrong, or I would beat myself up, and now I can kind of let it go and keep going. Like, what do you attribute that to?
What do I attribute that to?
Being less hard on yourself, or less. Oh my God, I can't mess up, or whatever.
We'd have to talk to my therapist, Dennis. But I think that like being less hard on yourself. I think, well, I got sober. Yeah. About 7 months ago, and that has allowed me to be a more emotionally grounded. Again, I think taking care of my parents and looking at my mortality, and for a year and a half wanting to be like, oh my God, I can't perform. I was so locked in that now I'm like, I think I've can stop rambling. It's that I say, I don't have to do this. I get to do this.
Right. An appreciation for doing it.
Yeah. And even now when I have a problem or I fall into a dark place emotionally, I say, you know, I think of the world and think how hard it is to be alive and all the people suffering. And I just say, oh God, thank you, larger intelligence, God, whatever you want, that this is my problem and I get to solve it. It could be so much worse. And, you know, to be able to do what I do what we do, there are people who are afraid, who never do that, you know, get to do, not to be like, we're so great what we get to do.
Right.
But it is something we picked,
and it's something that it lights us up. Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely.
And you know, especially just being a woman born in this country. There you go. A woman born in this country. Like, and it's, believe me, it's all not all cracked up as, you know, in a first world country, let's just say that. You know, there are so many blessings. But I also have come to realize that being critical and being hard on yourself is part of being good at what you do. I heard an interview with Meryl Streep. I'm not calling myself Meryl Streep. Right. But she said she gets nervous before every movie because she doesn't have a technique.
Oh, that's interesting.
Amateur. Yeah. Again, there we go. Yeah. Like, and maybe that's also part of it, that it's like, okay, it's okay if I'm nervous. It's okay. Like, if you're not nervous, there's something wrong. Like, the hope and fear are best friends. Like, if you're not scared, again, it's, so maybe I've embraced this idea, like, okay, I can step outside myself and go, okay, those are the negative, bad thoughts. And these are the excited thoughts. And I will have acceptance for all of them and just be so grateful that I'm here.
Yeah. Still doing it.
You know?
My playwriting teacher, Bernardo Cubria, did you get to meet him the other night? He was at the show.
In passing. I wish I had said hi to him. Yeah.
But anyway, he would talk sometimes about like his playwriting career, and sometimes I think he had opportunities that were in the more elite sort of theater companies or a show. He had a few of those moments where, as a playwright, you're like, "Oh, this is it," and he goes, "Those can often be fucked up." And he goes, "My best memories are me and my friends in a black box in New York City putting on a show for no money." He's like, "Those are my favorite memories." And I think about that sometimes, like the thing that we just did, the show we did, and just like going to see people at Casita del Campo always brings me so much joy. Going down those stairs and seeing my friends do their thing. I don't know. There is something about the spirit of it, right?
It's like Madonna said, it's a sacred space. It's a sacred, a ritualistic sacred space. But Dennis, could we turn the tables a little on you?
Yes,
right now?
please. Let's do it. Yeah.
So you took this play with Bernardo Cubria.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Bernardo Cubria. And I'm not going to lie.
Cubria. Yeah.
I've always been drawn to the Theatricum Botanicum. I've been going there for 30 years. It's a beautiful place in the mountains or in Topanga Canyon. But anyway, I went to the website and I'm like, he looks cute. I am going to take this class. But people ask me what's special about the class, and I have a hard time describing it. But I'm going to read the synopsis on the website because I think it captures it, and I know you've been interested in it too. So
yes, I want to take it.
This is what it says: unleash your creativity and break free from self-doubt in this playwriting class with wordsmith of stage and screen Bernardo Cubria! Let go of perfectionism and embrace spontaneity. Join a creative community that encourages you to unlock your authentic voice and bring stories to life that only you can tell. Come ready to have fun, take risks, and surprise yourself with what you create. That has been my experience. Nothing in there about, you're going to learn about structure and the great American well-made play and how you da-da-da-da. It's about, he has a gift for making you believe you can do it and getting you to do it, you know? And that's what it is.
Is it too much of a tell to explain how the play came to be in terms of how he sets up the beginning of the class, or is that?
Well, I've taken the class twice, and he didn't do it the second time. But I'll tell the story. Okay. I think I may have told it on here already. It's very interesting, and I always feel a little bit. I told it in front of him the other night, and I thought, because some people would be like, "Oh, that's an intense thing in a class," but anyway, it helped me. It worked for me. So the first class, there's like 10 of us around the table, and he says, I want you to take out and I show up here without a real idea for a play. I had a germ of an idea for something kind of campy and related to a Love Boat type TV show, and maybe you could do it at Casita del Campo with drag queens. Like I was thinking, like I had a little germ of that. And he said, I want you to take out a piece of paper and write down write down the worst thing you've ever done, or something you're embarrassed or ashamed about. And I thought about it for a second. And I never killed anyone, or I don't have anything like that where I'm like, oh, that was horrible. But I had something I was embarrassed or ashamed about for sure. And I wrote it, a couple sentences, I think, on a piece of paper. And then he said, okay, now I want you to slide that piece of paper across the table to somebody in the room that you don't know. And so there was this girl, Liz, sitting across from me, who I ended up getting to know pretty well and really like. And I remember sliding my paper to her, and you know, people read each other's papers. I don't remember what exactly I wrote. I don't remember what I read. I must have gotten past something. And then he said, there may be a play in there. And I wrote down something to do with the feeling that I missed the boat on sex, that I didn't know what I was doing, that I was bad at it, that I was different than my gay brothers, that I was missing some kind of gene. Those
you didn't get Madonna music.
Exactly. And that caused me embarrassment or shame for sure. Okay. And then later in the class, he said, okay, I want you guys to take 15 minutes, come up with 3 different ideas for plays. You're going to pitch them to the room and see what people respond to. And then you can write whatever you want. I'm not going to make you write something, whatever, but you can get a little feel for what ideas are intriguing to people. And so for my first idea, I pitched something about the cruise ship Love Boat reunion show, Casita del Campo vibes. And then for the second one, I thought I related to the thing that I wrote on the piece of paper. I thought, okay, what if these 2 men, somebody's able to help somebody with this, you know, and then the other one was able to help them with their thing or whatever. Maybe there's an exchange there. I don't know what I'm going to get. The idea, the term "fuck coach."
Don't give it away. Yeah. Don't give things away.
Okay, don't give away too much. So anyway,
but the idea,
a guy that feels that he missed the boat on sex and is ashamed of it has a chance to get on the boat. Let's say, and then for the third one, I was like, I don't know. I don't have any more ideas. And that afternoon, I had a consultation call to get a reverse mortgage, which is something that you do when you want to bring down your monthly expenses. You have equity in your home. You're able to use that equity to sort of pay for the loan, so you don't have a mortgage bill anymore. You pay for taxes and insurance, but your monthly, if getting by month to month is a challenge, it's a good way to get down your monthly expenses. And also, I was able to pay off a bunch of other things with money from that. So, when I die, there won't be worth as much, but I don't have any kids. So it doesn't, for me, it seemed like a thing. Anyway, I had this, by government rule, you have to have an hour-long conversation with an impartial person, not anyone that works with a mortgage company or anything, about what this thing is and how it works and what it means. I think there was a lot of fraud and stuff in the beginning of these things, and so they're a little controversial. And so I had that call. And for my third idea, I thought, well, what if I had the call, but what if the person was somebody from my past? And what if they were somebody who I was creative with when I was younger, but they chose a safer route and they're very successful. Maybe they own this mortgage company or whatever it is. And I pursued my dreams and I'm not making it. I'm struggling. What if that was the dynamic? And so those were the three ideas I pitched to the room, and nobody liked the first one about the ship or whatever. They kind of liked it, whatever. But everyone liked the one around sexuality and the one around the mortgage. So I thought, okay, maybe I can put them together.
Yeah.
And they came together in a way that, I don't know. I feel like I did it, but I feel like there was a bigger hand through every step of the way, Nadya. I could tell you 30 stories where the universe was like, here you go. You should be doing this. You have to do this. And the first one was like the week after we pitched the ideas, Bernardo was talking about playwriting. And I remember him saying, writing a play is like opening up your soul and then standing up on a platform. And there was a little stage in our room, a little platform. And he stood up there with his hands open and saying, all right, come everybody, come pay to look at my soul. He's like, that's what it's like. And I understand that more now, having done it. I got extremely personal in this play. And in that same class, he was talking about something, and I remember looking at him, and just this warm rush went through my body from my feet up to my head. And I never felt anything like that before or since. It was like, is that the ghost of Will Geer? Like, what is happening? And I just took it to mean I was in the right place, that I was supposed to be doing this.
Yes.
And that was what I took it unequivocally. It wasn't like that was weird. It was like, no. And I emailed Bernardo the next day and I said, I had this thing happen last night and and this is what I think it is about. And thank you for this experience. And then from there, the thing just kind of unfolded. And like, I would get to a play, like I did this, I was starting to write it, and I did the show with Nora Burns, Candid Camera, Exito del Campo. And she has this character in it, and she calls it her camera slave. And it's a hot guy, and he's kind of like a go-go boy guy, but he was from Argentina, and his name was Mariano. And I was like, I will take that name. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's going in the play. Like it's just everything like that. And like
synchronicity
times 1,000 in a way that is like, am I losing my mind? Am I?
No, it's you connected. I think that rush in your body was you tapping into that thing that's larger than you, and you downloaded.
But in a way that's like stunning to me. And I'm so grateful for it. And I hope that every creative person that hears this or that I ever meet has an experience like this, because it's just thrilling. Like Drew Droege was on the podcast. And he was talking about I asked him about meeting Hillary Clinton because she came and saw Messy White Gaze when it was in New York. Yeah. And he told the story, and he goes, she came backstage and I didn't know what to say to her. So I just said, how are you? And she goes, I'm fine personally, but boy, this world is crazy out there. And she goes, and and the artists haven't really caught up with it yet. They need to tell the story of this moment. So get to work. And right when she said that, the final draft icon on my computer, which is, when you have a document open and it's down at the side, it just started jumping up and down. And it's never done that before or since, when she said, get to work. And not that my play is a snapshot of America in 2026, but in some ways it is. But to me, it was like, it was just one of those things. And I could tell you 30 stories like that.
And Dennis, can I just say, I've known you for how many years now? How many years have we known each other?
I would say since 2008, I think.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I feel like watching you create this, I feel it was like you cut yourself open and that sounds like you opened up, like you've always, what I've loved about you always, Dennis, is you're the kindest, sweetest, most generous. You've never an unkind word. Even if you didn't like something, you would never gossip. You're just a beautiful person. I don't know a lot of people like that. But I didn't notice until this experience happened that when I would go to hug you, I don't think I've ever told you this, I would hug you, but I would feel a part of you was guarded.
Interesting.
And since you've written this play, you hug me in a way like I feel like it makes me want to cry. No, it does. Like it's really, you have stepped into yourself and it's just so beautiful. And I love that without giving away the play, it was like, it was a love. It's again, back to love rituals. Like this was theater is a ritual and it's transformative and it changed you. And I know it's going to affect people that see it. And it's just beautiful. And I love that it's happening to you, not when you're in your 30s or 40s, and that's why I also think we all love what Madonna's doing right now too.
Right.
Like you say about your play, desire does not retire. And as a gay man and a woman, all we're told is like, it's done. You're done when you're 30 or 40. And then I get on the apps and everybody wants to have sex with a MILF.
That might be the title of this episode, but I don't know. I think there was
but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so, no, it's just beautiful. And I just can't wait for people to see it with a new name trade-offs.
I think so. I think it gives me more joy to say it. I got a text from a friend of mine. Let me see if I can find it. But anyway, the morning after the show, because what you were saying resonated. After
you give bad hugs.
I know.
You used to get bad hugs.
Now he gives good hugs. That's amazing. So my friends Benji and Paul.
They came.
And Benji's my dance teacher, and Paul's his husband. And I love both those guys.
Oh yes, Benji. I love
of course,
Benji.
He's the best. He wrote, "Good morning, Ben and I woke up with this pep in our step this morning, and I think it's because your play was so funny, relatable, and inspiring. That's very sweet. Thank you for putting art into the world and sharing so much of yourself with us all." But the idea that you could do something and it could make somebody else feel lighter or braver or more creative or something like that, that's better than that, right?
It's what it's all about. It's what it's all about. It's a gift that you both get to have. That everybody gets to have.
You mentioned that my hugs have gotten better. Thank you. But I've noticed a change in you since you've gotten sober. A more openness, a more open-heartedness. You've always been lovely and kind, but more because when I reached out for you to do this reading, do you want to do this table read? I wrote this play. You're like, of course, like more of a sort of like absolutely, open-heartedness, I don't know, a willingness to come to the party.
Now you received the hug thing, but I will be defensive. What was I, close?
There was.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
How have you noticed a change since you've gotten sober? What have you noticed, or what surprised you about it?
Well, I think First of all, my emotions are more regulated. I'm not going up and down. And I was not even a big drinker per se. I think in my past, I drank and a lot more, or more of a social drinker, but I did use marijuana creatively. Mm-hmm. I think it has to do with in the program, one of your first steps is believing in something that's larger than yourself, mm-hmm. and relinquishing control. That you have to have this. So it's not a passiveness. It's not like God, whatever your idea, if it's the divine intelligence that makes every cell operate in your body and all the trees grow and all the planets rotate, like whatever it is, that there's something larger than you, that I don't have to be holding on so tight.
Right.
And, I think maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Because
I don't have to be holding on so tight. Like that this thing can unfold, that there's something bigger going on.
Yeah. And I have to say, Dennis, I once took a class as an actor with this woman that the people from Transparent hired her as like a script consultation person. So she would have people that would come bring their pieces, and she would need actors to come do the scenes.
Yeah.
And so she paired me with this one writer, and she walked through. She was really brilliant. Of course, I can't remember her name, but she had spent like an hour with me or something. And she points at me and she goes, "This one, she's got it, but she doesn't think she's got it."
Oh, shit.
And I was like, like, whoa.
Wow.
So I think that's been, a big, and so I think that not thinking is getting in my own way and trying to control it, and not even not worrying about, being loved, but afraid of being loved. Like, what happens if I step into myself and stand in my power?
Yeah.
It also has to do with having artist parents, I think, where it was like, I don't want to shine too bright. I don't want to upset people.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. And I think, sitting with my emotions too. Like I used to think, I'm so easy breezy, laid back. And it's like, no, I don't want to feel things.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling everything now.
Yeah.
And so it makes everything easier.
How has it affected your art?
I think that it's my art. That was how I found my higher power was, when I sit down, I get to be with my higher power.
You mean sit down to write or sit down to work?
Yeah, and I've always heard people, Tom Waits, who wrote the song at the end of my show, he said, sometimes I'm in my car and there's a song and it's coming to me from the universe and I'm driving and I'm like, fuck, I got to get home and write the song or someone else is going to get it. Like, it's not you. It's something that and actually Elizabeth Gilbert, is she the one who wrote Eat, Pray, Love? Mm-hmm. She said in the time of the Greeks, genius was not ego-based. It was something that lived a daemon, or that lived in the walls, and it would come into, genius would enter you, but it was not you. You're not the genius.
Yeah.
So I think Rick Rubin writes about that source in a great book called The Creative Act, which I recommend to anybody who wants to write something. And it helped me with my last thing I wrote. He said, if you want to create something, just remember it's already there. Like, it's there. If you dreamt it, if you want it, it's there. So it's not trying to control it once again. It's being open to receive it and then slowly taking things away. Mm-hmm. It's not linear. You can't be like, today I will write, Yeah. It's surrender.
Yeah. I relate to that a lot in terms of this play, because it feels like the most personal thing. It's so me. It is so me. And yet I don't feel like I did it. I feel like my hand was being guided. I never pulled my hair out. I felt like it just unfolded. There was never like that, well, the first act needs work. Like, it just, not that it's perfect, but
I love it.
I love it so much, Nadya. I like looking at the document in a notebook. I like looking at the document. I just love it. I am so. Do you remember you were there when we did the first table read at my friend Matt's house? And Matt was supposed to read the part of Ken, and he couldn't do it because he had a dental emergency. And so I read it. And Ken is this character who is married and has a family and didn't pursue his dreams of being a performer. He has an attraction to men as well. So he's been sort of living this sort of life that isn't really who he is authentically. And he has this monologue about watching this artist work on a mural in his office. Fuck.
It's okay.
And when we did that table read, I was reading Ken, and I was like, oh, here comes this big monologue. And it was a monologue that I don't know where it came from. I never thought it was great. I was like, I killed it with this monologue. I'm like, I'm going to write about.
Did you come up with it?
Yeah, I just came up with it.
On anything?
No,
okay.
I just came up with it. I was like, I just thought of it, you know? And it wasn't like, oh, I took this real thing and I I just made it up. And I got to it when we were doing that table read, and I couldn't get through it. But it wasn't like, oh, I took that thing from childhood and made it a thing. I don't know where it came from. And I also don't know if it's that. I'm not saying it's that brilliant, but I find it so moving.
Yes, because it's also what you were doing with the play. You were being a humble artist who was so grateful. It was like your unconscious was speaking to you and telling you what a privilege it is right now. No matter, this is not so I get this thing, or this person sees it, or I make this much money, or, you know, it is, I'm an artist. It's a metaphor. It's, you know, and, that's,
and it's my hope that every artist out there has experiences like this, because it's changed me. Like, I believe in something bigger now, or I believe in magic in a way I might not have said a year ago. And there's three primary men in the play. There's a character named Augie, who is a lot like me. He's a choreographer and a director who's done some cool things, but never quite made a lot of money, and he's struggling. And then there's the mortgage broker guy named Ken, who is we talked about the mural, and he's very, very rich and successful, but unfulfilled. And then there's a character named Mariano, who is a soccer coach and a OnlyFans content creator, and he is liberated in a way that Augie isn't around sexuality. Right. But he also dreams of being something more. Like he has creative dreams that he put on a shelf because he has something that he felt was disqualifying in that way. But anyway,
we don't want to give away too much.
We don't want to give away too much, but I love these men. I mean, Augie I connect to because it's so much like me, but these other two men, I love them in a way that makes me cry when I think about them.
Yeah. It's so beautiful, Dennis.
It's crazy. Like if you're in my life and I've talked to you for more than 30 seconds about this play, I've cried in front of you. I cried in my boss's office. I've cried in restaurants. I cried at Chili's in front of Bernardo. It's the most incredible thing.
Will it ruin it to say that also Chili's figures prominently in the play?
That would go, if they listen to this podcast, they know that that's probably a thing. Yeah, it does figure prominently in this play. But yeah, like it's been the biggest thrill in my life, honestly. And I thought having it be done would feel like I would feel a post-depart, you know, and I don't really, because it's just beginning, and it's still. I still feel like it's evolving, and I'm gonna take it as far as I can take it. I love it so much. I love that thing.
Dennis, and I had the realization that I thought it would also be great filmed.
Yeah, somebody else has mentioned that, and it wouldn't be too difficult to adapt into a screenplay. Like, I think it's
Yeah, it always has great dialogue. It's all dialogue driven already.
Yeah. So that's another thing I think about. But like, I just love it. And I hope that, I haven't gotten to talk to Bernardo, my teacher, at length yet, but he did have nice, kind things to say and sent me a nice text. And I wonder what it's like for him to have somebody up there just like gushing about you and then seeing a thing. Like, I think as a teacher, it must be a lot. He has 3 students with plays in the French Festival. I think that's remarkable.
He loves it.
He must love it. Yeah.
It's like having kids.
Yeah.
Like being his children.
Yeah. It's a lot. But, and I love that you were in the mix from the beginning and bringing so much fun to it. And I also love, sex is a big part of it. And I also, and expressing these feelings, my theory of the case was that if we have the courage to express and depict what we feel ashamed of, and we do it artfully or well or honestly, it has the power to let people feel less alone in their shame, whether or not it's the same thing. Whether it doesn't even have to be the same thing. I think that is something I landed on during the process of like, I want to test this theory. I think this could be true. And I sense that it is. I sense that it is in the reaction. And the thing is, I have made progress in that area as a result of the play. And that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't done this. I've had some experiences that would not have happened, and that took me to a different. I put some points on the board in a way that I hadn't before, and it happened because of the play. And I told that to Bernardo. I said, I've made some presents, and he some steps forward because of this. And he said, the thing that we write about usually gets better. And I thought that was profound too. Like, I think shame is like a big glob of clay that it doesn't move. You can't get around it. But when you flush it out, if you can, shine light or flush it out on it, things can move, things can happen. It happens to the characters in the play, like, Mariano has a big secret and he thinks it's a deal breaker in his life. He thinks he's full of shame around it. And when it gets some light on it, it's like, this is manageable. This is not, the things that we think are so unmanageable or disqualifying for love or life or success or whatever. Maybe they're not as bad as we thought, once we shine some light on them. That's my theory of the case.
It's almost like an exorcism of your shame.
In a way, absolutely.
You're not running away from it.
No, I'm saying, come see it. Here's buy a ticket.
Yeah, here it is.
Come buy a ticket.
This character is this part of the shame, and this character is this part of the shame. And you're all gonna now dance for me.
Yeah.
And
I think another thing that moves me when I think about it is there are some intimate scenes in the play that are quite specific and graphic but the idea of 2 gay men being kind to each other, I think it's rarer than we want to think, especially in a situation like that where there's not, I don't know. I think 2 gay men being kind to each other feels dramatic.
Well, same with 2 women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look how mean. That's why that's why gay men and women can be friends so easily. Yeah. Is that because we're not nice to each other. Women are not nice to each other because we're taught to not be nice to ourselves, and gay men are taught to not like themselves, not have shame, and so they project it onto each other,
right.
And that's why. Even when I have friends in my mutual circle, they'll be like, "Oh, that guy's an asshole." I'm like, "Well, he's nice to me because I'm a straight woman." Like, but I get it. Like, or this woman's a bitch to me, but I get why you guys get along.
Yeah. And especially when dealing with attraction and sex, like, are we going to hook up or not hook up or whatever? There can be a callousness at play on the apps and in the world, like a kind of callousness. And I feel like the scenes in this play are like the opposite of that. And I think there's something about it. You described them as wholesome at the first table read. You were like, what is the word?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really interesting. And I think it's because they're just being nice to each other, you know? That feels revolutionary. And that's something that I'm also proud of. And so, it's what a journey, right? What a thing.
Yeah. I'm so excited to keep seeing
where it goes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for this conversation. Let's remind people of your show dates again.
Yes.
Mismatch Game is the first one. It's this Friday, the 26th at 7:30. No,
the 26th, right, of June. And then I'm July 17th in LA at inside Casita del Campo.
The Cavern Club Theater.
The Cavern Club Theater. Then in July, in the Berkshires at this place called The Foundry on July 22nd. If you have any friends in the Berkshires, if you know Dorinda Medley.
Yes. Are you a fan of Dorinda?
Blamp. People will know what that means.
Okay, good.
And then on July 23rd in New York City at the Cutting Room, you can go to my Instagram at Nadya Ginsburg. That's YANADYA Ginsburg, BURG, like Ruth Masturbator Ginsburg. And I have the dates and the links there. And if you have friends in New York who would like a funny lady who does Madonna and Cher, and we'll make you say fuck the patriarchy.
Yeah.
And let's have some laughs and keep dancing.
I love it. Speaking of dancing, here's my final question. You know, this new Madonna era is happening. And then you'll notice that like random people pop up in her videos, like Benedict Cumberbatch is just in there for dancing in the bathroom.
Odessa Azion, which I was not. But I get why she likes her.
Yeah. But just she'll welcome some random cameos.
Yeah.
If you could do a collab with Madonna.
Yeah.
What would it be?
Oh, that would be good. I would like to be her analyst maybe, and then we have sex. And then we, she's on the couch and we keep switching places. Like she's analyzing me, then I'm analyzing her. Then it, switches to to a sex scene, our sex scene.
Of course.
And then, of course we're on the dance floor.
That's how it ends, as it should be.
On the dance floor. Yeah.
Safety in numbers.
Safety. But you know what I don't get, Dennis?
What?
Why did she open the song with "Thanks for coming"? Thanks for coming? Is she a hostess at Denny's? What do you mean?
I know, it's a little weird.
It's more Photoshop. It's just sometimes, because listen, let's face it, she's brilliant. She's a brilliant woman. But then sometimes her lyrics,
they feel like first drafts.
I love New York. Other cities make me feel like a dork. I got into an argument with my friend Julian. I was like, the song Body Shop?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I think it's very clever. And I was like, Julian, I work in a body shop, but listen, she knows what she's doing. She doesn't need advice from me. She's obviously doing a great job.
She's doing a great job. But sometimes you do feel like, oh, that felt like the first pass. And also, there are times in her spoken part for I Feel So Free where she sounds like you doing her.
So many people have said that to me.
Yeah, particularly in this safety and number, safety
and numbers.
Numbers. It's the numbers. It's the R.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And also lately she speaks like she's not wearing grills, but she's maybe wearing Invisaligners.
It feels a little like that, right? Like there's something
in her mouth. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the lips.
Yeah. Maybe
it's those lips. I don't know. Listen, Madonna, I don't care what you do. We love you.
We love you, and I love you. And I'm heading out. And
all right.
Nadya, I love you. Go see Nadya. Come see her and do the shows. I love this conversation. I love you. And here's to many future adventures. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming.
Okay. Bye. Thank you again to Nadya Ginsburg. Check out her show if you're in LA, New York, or the Berkshires. LA, the 17th of July. New York City, the 23rd, and the day before, July 22nd, she's going to be in the Berkshires. Learn about that at her Instagram, which is Nadya Ginsburg. All right. So this happened. For part of my job at Disney, I got to do some interviews with a crop of up-and-coming actors who are part of a program there called... it's DTD. So Disney Talent Discoverers. They're sort of up-and-comers that they give this cool opportunity to. So one of them had on this cool necklace when I was interviewing them, and I decided, I think I want to have a sassy necklace for summer. So I mentioned that to somebody at lunch one day, and they said you could go to this website. I think it's called GLT, but they have like good deals and good jewelry, and I didn't know where to start. And so I ordered my necklace. It's white gold, so it looks more silver than gold, and it's herringbone, so it kind of lays flat. This was like the one that the guy had because I took a picture of it, and it arrived, and I am having a sassy necklace summer, you guys. I am so into it. I find it so cool and sexy, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is right. This is right. It just feels right. You just know it when it happens. I hope it all happens for some of you someday, so you will know what I know, which is a sassy necklace summer is a good thing to have. All right, that's enough for this week. It's so dumb. Shout out to Oscar Rosario, who mixes my episodes. My theme music is by Mark Daniels for Placement Music. We'll catch you next time on Dennis Anyone. Bye.